2, 1, still standing. Words for when you're carrying everything and refusing to give up. I'm Bernadette Maple, and I'd like you to make yourself comfortable in your safe place. Take as many deep breaths in and slow breaths out as you need to quiet your thoughts, and dedicate the next 10 minutes to you for the sake of your mental well-being and for the love of your family. This project was created for people who are carrying quiet fear while trying to stay strong for those they love. For those who wake up thinking about bills, dignity, and how to keep showing up when the ground feels unstable beneath their feet. Unemployment can take more than income. It can shake identity, confidence, and connection. And this work exists to remind you that you are still whole, still worthy, and still needed. These affirmations are not about pretending everything is fine. They are about learning how to breathe inside uncertainty, how to soften self-judgment, and how to hold hope without forcing it. This is for anyone who is struggling financially and socially, yet choosing again and again to be okay for the sake of their family, even on the hardest days. I am allowed to admit that this season is hard without believing that it defines my worth or my future. And even in uncertainty, I remain a valuable, loving presence in my family's life, doing the best I can with what I have today. I choose to believe that my value does not disappear because a job is missing, because my character, love, effort and resilience are still fully intact and deeply meaningful to the people who depend on me. I remind myself that providing for my family is not only about money, but also about emotional safety, consistency, love, and showing up even when my heart feels heavy. I am allowed to feel scared about finances and still trust that I am capable of navigating this moment with courage, creativity, and steady determination for my family's sake. I acknowledge that unemployment is something I am experiencing, not something I am, and this distinction gives me space to breathe, heal, and move forward without shame. I am not failing my family by struggling. I am modeling perseverance, honesty, and strength by continuing to care even when circumstances feel unfair and exhausting. I give myself permission to rest emotionally, knowing that rest is not giving up, but preparing myself to keep going with clearer thoughts and renewed energy. I trust that my family benefits from my presence, patience, and love more than from any title, salary, or external validation I may be missing right now. I release the belief that I must have everything figured out immediately, and I allow progress to unfold step by step, day by day, without self-punishment. I remind myself that this season is teaching me skills I cannot yet fully see, including resilience, empathy, adaptability, and deeper appreciation for stability. I am allowed to ask for help without feeling weak, because seeking support is an act of responsibility, not failure, and it protects my family in the long run. I choose to speak to myself with the same kindness I would offer a loved one who is struggling, because harsh self-judgment only adds weight to an already heavy load. I acknowledge the loneliness that unemployment can bring, and I remind myself that isolation does not mean I am unworthy of connection, respect, or dignity. I trust that my efforts matter, even when results are slow, invisible, or discouraging, because consistency plants seeds long before growth becomes visible. I'm still a role model for my family by showing honesty, integrity, and persistence in the face of difficulty, even when I don't feel strong. I give myself credit for surviving days that felt overwhelming, because endurance itself is evidence of strength, even when progress feels painfully slow. I remind myself that financial struggle is a circumstance, not a moral failing, and it does not erase my intelligence, skills, or potential. I am allowed to feel grief for the life I imagined while still holding space for hope that something different and possibly better can emerge. I choose to believe that my children and loved ones learn more from how I treat myself in hardship than from any appearance of perfection. I trust that my value in my family's life cannot be measured in paychecks, but in love, guidance, safety, and presence that I continue to offer daily. I release comparison with others, knowing that everyone's path includes hidden struggles and my journey does not need to match anyone else's timeline. I allow myself to feel proud of continuing to try, even when rejection, silence, or setbacks make it tempting to give up. I remind myself that being emotionally available, kind, and patient during this time is a powerful form of provision for my family. I accept that confidence may come and go, and I choose to act anyway, knowing that courage is movement despite fear, not the absence of it. I am learning that my family's love for me is not conditional on my employment status, and this truth deserves to be trusted and believed. I give myself permission to celebrate small wins because momentum is built from tiny steps taken consistently, not from sudden miracles. I trust that this chapter, as painful as it feels, will not last forever, and that change is possible even when I cannot yet see how. I am allowed to feel angry, disappointed, or ashamed, and still choose not to let those feelings define my identity or future choices. I remind myself that showing up every day, even imperfectly, is proof of my commitment to my family's well-being and stability. I choose to believe that my skills, experiences, and perspectives still have value in the world, even if the right opportunity has not appeared yet. I am not behind in life. I am in a difficult chapter that requires patience, endurance, and compassion toward myself. I allow myself to breathe through moments of panic, reminding myself that one moment does not determine the entire story. I trust that my family sees my effort even when words are not spoken, and that love is being exchanged in quiet, unseen ways. I remind myself that resilience is built during seasons like this, and I am becoming stronger in ways that will serve me long after this struggle ends. I give myself grace for days when motivation is low, knowing that survival itself is an achievement during times of uncertainty. I choose to believe that I am still a good parent, partner, and provider in the ways that matter most. Even while finances are strained, I release the belief that my worth is tied to productivity alone, and I honor the humanity that exists beyond work and income. I trust that continuing to hope, even quietly and imperfectly, is an act of courage that keeps my family's future alive. I remind myself that this moment is shaping my compassion, humility, and strength, and these qualities will outlast any temporary setback. I am allowed to envision a future where stability returns, joy grows again, and this chapter becomes proof of how much I endured and overcame. I choose to keep going, not because it is easy, but because my life, my family, and my future are worth the effort every single day. Now, I'd like you to make yourself aware of your surroundings. You don't have to expect anything of yourself. Just relax until you feel ready to move forward. Bring with you fresh positive perspectives. 3, 2, 1.